Didn't you ever wonder about all those synchronicities that happen to you? And wouldn't you like to have a way of actually connecting them all and seeing the great pattern that is moving you in your life and the life of everyone else with you on the planet at this time? That's what the DREAMSPELL Journey of Timeship Earth 2013 Toolkit is all about. Getting you hooked up to the fourth dimension. Now the fourth dimension, that's something you cannot know about as long as you are living in third dimensional time, which is not really time at all. It's just a mechanized fiction. 1260 time, 1320 reality. The Dream Ship Journey of Timeship Earth 2013 is your entrance into the full-blown reality of fourth dimensional time.
So in the DREAMSPELL, we say time is now. And how to enter, you have to have a way to get in. So the first way to enter is to open your DREAMSPELL kit.
Will you open it?
Yes. We have taken the lid off the box. Now begins the quest. In the quest, the first thing you'll see in your DREAMSPELL kit is a galactic compass. This galactic compass is what enables you to go from the third dimension to the fourth dimension.
This galactic compass, which you see here, actually consists of a set of concentric rings. A green outer ring which correlates the dates of the solar calendar, the Gregorian calendar, as well as the moon calendar, the 13-moon calendar. Correlates those dates on a basis of a cycle of 20 days, synchronized always to begin July 26th on the Gregorian calendar. Why? Because this is the date of the synchronization of the fourth dimensional cycles of time with the third dimensional cycles of time, something you can't know about following that Gregorian calendar. The synchronization of the third and fourth dimensional cycles of time means the synchronization of the cycle of the Earth around its solar orbit every 365 days with the cycle of fourth dimensional time, the galactic time calibrator 260-day cycle, which is the fourth dimensional cycle that governs all the cycles of life on our planet Earth. The green ring, which is the outer ring for correlating, the yellow ring, which is the solar tone ring, the white wave spell ring, the 20 kin ring, the 20 wave spell leaders and guides ring, which is attached to the 5-part castle ring, and then the central ring at the center, coming from the very center of the great magnet of the Hunab Ku, the ring that shows the compass of time, the 4 color constants which form the basis of the movement of the harmonics of time. 7 circles, 7 rings, 7 powers, the galactic compass of time.
And you've brought up now the center, which shows the 4 colors, which are critical in your understanding of everything in your DREAMSPELL kit. Comes from first understanding the code, the cosmic form of the 4 color pattern. It goes red, white, blue, yellow. Everything in the DREAMSPELL initiates with the red, refines with the white, transforms with the blue, and the yellow ripens. Red, white, blue, yellow. I can now show you how the boards are opened in this color sequence. You look through your box, your toolkit, and you find the journey board. This journey board is what will show you what we mean when we say galactic time is a 260-day cycle. The board opens and you experience first the red. Then the next part is the white, which is above, and then the blue, and then the yellow. Now we'll focus in on the first castle, which is the red castle. In this castle, within it, there are a pattern again of red, white, blue, and yellow. And this pattern consists of wave spells. So all during this presentation, you're going to hear the word first, dream spell, and then you're going to hear a critical word, wave spell. What is the wave spell? The wave spell is a 13-tone sequence, 13 numbers.
Also, while we have the journey board out here, like Lloydine said, we're going to show you very clearly that time, fourth dimensional time, is radial, is fractal, is holographic. It is not linear like the third dimensional concept of time. We can take the journey board and make a very nice box or cube there, and you can see that each of these folds of the leaves, each of these sections on the journey board is called a castle. The red castle, the white castle, the blue castle, and the yellow castle all fold around each other, all mirroring the images of each other, all following the pattern of red, white, blue, yellow, running through a 13-tone cosmology, which is called the wave spell. And in the center, always, if there's always a fifth force. You have the four colors, but there's always a fifth moving force, the fifth moving force of time, which in the journey board is the green central castle of enchantment. This is the dream spell, the Journey of Time Ship Earth 2013. A dream spell is any agreed upon belief that creates a continuing state of consciousness. Right now we're living at the end time of the dream spell of history, which is an agreed upon belief system, and we're about to enter the dream spell of galactic culture. And in the dream spell of galactic culture, we're all going to end up in the green central enchanted castle of time. One other thing, when we look at we can also look at the journey board as a pure mandala or yantra formation. This is the mandala of time. This is called the mandala of becoming, because the red castle of birth initiates, and it holds the court of birth. The white castle in the north refines. It holds the court of death. The blue castle in the west transforms. It holds the blue court of burning, the court of magic. The yellow castle in the south holds the court of ripening, the power of giving. And the central castle, of course, in the center is the central castle of enchantment, the whole point of following and playing Dreamspell, the Journey of Time Ship Earth 2013.
So when you read the Genesis in the beginning of your Dreamspell book, you can actually follow it on this journey board. From the Dragon Genesis, you can move around the board, and then when you enter into the Monkey Genesis, and then finally when you get to the whole Dreamspell Genesis about what happened when we were ready to enter the green central castle of enchantment.
Because you have to understand that in the fourth dimension, time is a fractal. A kin can be a day, a kin can be another human being just like you and me, or a kin can be a 20-year unit, or it can be a 100-year unit. As a 20-year unit, the Dreamspell Journey Board is the history encoded form of the cycle of the 13 Baktuns of the Mayan long count. When we get to and it can also be, if it's 100 years, then it's a cycle of the history of the 26,000 years of humanity, in which case each one of these positions is a century. So this is from 26,000 years ago. When we arrive at the Green Central Castle of Enchantment, this is almost 5,200 years ago, the beginning of the cycle of history, the cycle that got covered up by the 1260 cover-up of false artificial Babylonian time. And the Dreamspell is here as a gift of the Galactic Federation, a cultural tool to help us recover the lost knowledge, to help us learn how to live again in the higher galactic frequency of fourth dimensional time.
Yes, so to repeat, when you look at this as a 26,000-year cycle, Jose, then show us exactly where we are at this present moment in history, so we can get an idea of how vast this Dreamspell Genesis is, and of how critical this point is on the planet, that we are down to a fractal of the whole 26,000-year cycle, that we're down to the last 26 years.
Well, if this position here, which is magnetic moon, red magnetic moon, is the beginning of the cycle of history as recorded by the 13 Baktun long count of the Maya, then we have each of these as one century. Okay, so we start there. That's like 3,113 BC. If we go down here, the last century is the 260th kin. There's the first kin is over here, red magnetic dragon, 13 kin the first wave spell, 13 kin the second wave spell, 13 kin the third wave spell, 13 kin the fourth wave spell. The same process repeated, 52 kin, 52 kin, 52 kin, and 52 kin, 260 kin. In that case, if this is the 26,000-year cycle, then we are living in this final position here. This is the century of the cosmic sun that began in 1913, just before the First World War, and ends in 2012, just before the galactic synchronization of 2013. We are living in this century of the cosmic suns, kin 260. Our age is meant to be a return to the solar consciousness, is what this represents. Yellow cosmic sun, the return to solar consciousness, and that's what the DreamSpell kit is intended to help us do. Create a path for us, a new knowledge, a sacred way for us to return to solar and cosmic consciousness.
So when you fold in your journey board, it's the radial matrix that closes in on itself. So we're going to talk a lot today about some new terms, and one is the term fractal. So what we just showed you was a principle of the fractal, in that this board, as Jose said, each position can represent a day or a kin. So kin is simply a word which means a day, but kin is also a word which means each one of us. We are all kin. I am a kin, you are a kin. So in this way, every one of us, by our date of birth, takes a position in this 260 kin galactic spin. So naturally, the best place for you to enter into the dream spell is to find out where your entry point was. Because just as in any current computer game or any way that you play games, you usually have to have a key to enter, a password, a way in. So in this play, I'll give you a demonstration that for Jose and I, we both happen to have kin where we started in the red castle of initiating. So we have over here in the dragon wave spell,
The very first wave spell.
Jose entered as a monkey, and he entered in the position 11 monkey. Now the tone is 11, and you'll find out as you read through, each tone has a special quality. So the quality of 11 is spectral, and monkey is the solar seal in this 11th position. So therefore, Jose's code name, how he enters, is kin 11 or blue spectral monkey. And then I entered in the same castle, the red castle, in position 9 of the second wave spell, the wizard wave spell, and my entry position 9 has the code word solar, and my solar seal is the wind. So my kin number, I am in the 11th position. I'm kin 22. You're 11, I'm 22. Kin 22, white solar wind. So this is an example of how we each have a kin and a kin name. So our kin position is made up of one of 20 solar seals and one of 13 tones. And we'll talk more about the details as we go along here.
I'm folding up this journey board again, and it's important. The codes of time are very simple. The color code of 4 plus the 5th green force, the wave spell code of the 13 tones, and the 20 solar seals. This is the language of fourth dimensional time. It's a very simple language. It's a simple alphabet. So when we fold up the board, we can reverse the process. We go yellow, blue, white, and red. Time has been folded up and put to bed. DreamSpell, The Journey of Time Ship Earth 2013. When you examine its parts and you begin to look at it with an open, curious mind, you will see that the DreamSpell possesses an amazing quality of perfection, an amazing sense of order, a profound sense of order. Where did the DreamSpell come from? How could the DreamSpell be? The DreamSpell, as we mentioned earlier, is actually, and this is really true, is a cultural gift of the Galactic Federation. Where the DreamSpell came from was from knowledge that was long, long lost and then rediscovered. Where the DreamSpell came from was the knowledge of the ancient classic or galactic Maya. The classic or galactic Maya, whose great period was in the 10th Baktun of their long count between the years 435 and 830 AD. The galactic Maya left behind a number of clues, among them an amazingly intricate set of calendars that calibrate the relationships of the planets to each other within our solar system, an amazing accomplishment for people whom many archaeologists and historians consider as a very curious late Stone Age adaptation of human culture. This knowledge of time was left encoded in a series of prophecies. The prophecy, the longest prophetic cycle was the cycle of the 13 heavens and the 9 hells, and it was this cycle that was commemorated in the famous Harmonic Convergence of 1987, of August 16th and 17th, 1987. This event commemorated the closing of the great prophetic cycle that linked the teachings of time and the prophecies of Maya through the teachings of time and the prophecies of Quetzalcoatl, the plumed serpent, Kukulkan, and then transmitted down to the present time in a form of a time knowledge called prophecy. The 1987, if you look here on the back of your galactic compass, it says Time Ship Earth 2013, 26-year countdown. The years, as it says here, all run from July 26th to July 25th, the Gregorian. We see that in this 26-year countdown we have two wave spells. One wave spell going in a clockwise direction, which is the last wave spell of history, which runs from 1987 through 1999, and another wave spell which runs in the formal proper dream spell direction, going from left, going in the counterclockwise direction. This blue storm wave spell and a white wizard wave spell here. This line here between 1999 and 2000 indicates a dramatic shift, what some people refer to as a pole shift, but it's not like what people imagine. It's a psycho-electromagnetic type of pole shift. That's what causes the reverse into full fourth-dimensional time in the year 2000. So right now, where we are, we can see it's 1995. We're in this position here. And we're ready to have a big rundown into fourth-dimensional time. The going should be getting a lot easier now as we drop right down into this full fourth-dimensional slot down here in 2004. This process began to unravel itself in 1987. On July 26, 1987 was the day. White Galactic Wizard, this was from the Galactic Federation point of view, this was the initial initiation, this was the initiation point of this final 26-year countdown of a cycle of 26,000 years. That's why the dream spell is so momentous, because the time is so momentous. From 1987, when Lloydine and I had initiated the Harmonic Convergence, we saw that the popular response to this event, even though most people didn't know why they were doing it or what it was about or who the Maya were, vindicated the prophecy that said that regardless, that on this date, if 144,000 awakened sun dancers responded to the call, that was all that was necessary to initiate this final 26-year countdown. From that point, Lloydine and I knew that we had to go and complete our study of the codes, of the galactic codes behind the Mayan calendar. The sacred Mayan calendar we knew was the key. That's the 260-day cycle that we spoke of, which we discovered subsequently is the fourth dimensional calibrator of time, is this 260-day cycle. By 1989, as many people may now know, we were in the Museum of Time in Geneva, Switzerland, when we made the great discovery of the timing frequencies. This was a new scientific discovery and a new revelation and the affirmation of the coming of a new dispensation. The discovery of the timing frequencies is very simple. The 1260 frequency, which we saw manifest in the Museum of Time in Geneva, Switzerland, is the artificial timing frequency of the 12-month calendar combined with the 60-minute clock, which has created the entire out-of-control industrial civilization, and which has occasioned the need for the 13-moon calendar change peace movement. This timing frequency, up to the point of our discovery, was totally unknown, and hence humanity was unconscious of the fact that it was actually operating in a false artificial timing frequency. But then again, this is the reason why this dream spell is part of a prophetic Mayan time release, that the Mayans knew that we would be needing this kind of knowledge at this time if we were going to get out of here alive, or something like that. Now, from that point, Lloydine and I knew after the discovery in the Museum of Time, which incidentally was precisely happening at the same time as the Berlin Wall was going down and as the Cold War was ending, we were very acutely aware of the moment of this discovery. We returned to Hawaii. The first thing we knew is that we formed out the perfect 13-moon calendar, which we knew was the basis. And it says many times in the dream spell text that the basis for understanding the dream spell is the planetary kin operating a planetary service wave spell of the 13-moon calendar. And then the dream spell would begin to unlock even more of its knowledge. So finally, that time has come. We called for a time shift July 26, 1992, which would be the final Cocoon cycle of this whole era, the last 20-year cycle. But humanity was not fully ready. In the meantime, we had prepared these tools. As we later found out, these tools that came in a very, very sudden rush of energy. The word dream spell came to me from a dream that occurred in, I believe it was late June or early July on the Gregorian calendar of 1990, in which I experienced being in a faraway place maybe 13,000 years ago, and then feeling some great type of psychic shattering, and then seeing the same characters reassembled, working their lives out at this very present time. And I understood that at that moment that I was being given the experience of a dream spell, the shattering of one dream spell, the entry into another, and the word dream spell was there. So as we mentioned earlier, dream spell refers to the shattering of the dream spell of history, which is now shattering, and the entrance into the new dream spell of galactic culture. It's very important when there's a shattering of one dream spell to have another dream spell up and ready to go. That's what this toolkit is all about. So that's where this toolkit came from. And that's what it's about. It's a part of a Galactic Federation emergency plan to put us in the correct time so that we meet our obligations by the time we get to the millennium and begin and have manifested full responsibility. We are then given the reward of full entry into fourth dimensional time, heaven on earth as it's called, to complete out the whole cycle. Incidentally, July 26, 2013, the cycle began on White Galactic Wizard on July 26, 1987, and it concludes when the galactic synchronization occurs on July 26, 2013. It concludes on the day Yellow Galactic Seed, synchronization with galactic culture, dream spell, the journey of Time Ship Earth, 2013.
And I just wanted to add, Jose, that it's so important that people understand why the names of the solar seals, as you study them, are not in the original Maya, because this is a galactic dispensation of time. So as we worked for 2 years to refine the codes of the dream spell, we discovered that more and more we had to release the dream spell from any cultural bias.
Dream Spell, the journey of Time Ship Earth, 2013, a galactic cultural program, project of the Galactic Federation, the tools for navigating fourth dimensional time. It's awesome, and at first it might seem totally complex and bewildering, even as orderly as it is. But we have to keep in mind, anything new, anything truly new, is always at first striking, and depending upon your ability to accept new information or receive new information, could seem very bewildering. But the Dream Spell Kit, the toolkit for navigating fourth dimensional time, really isn't any more complex than a computer. In fact, it's a lot less complex than a computer. In fact, it's the software for your human computer. So the way to enter in and to make sure that it's you that's always in the center, and remember, Dream Spell is all about returning the knowledge of the power of time, putting that knowledge and power into the hands of the people, power to the people. In order to make it totally personal, why, there's one easy way to enter, and that's to find your very own galactic signature, which enrolls you as being an operating member of Time Ship Earth 2013, a member of the fourth dimensional time units of planet Earth. The way you enter is very important, and it's actually tells the whole story. So we're going to give an example of how to find your very own galactic signature. We're going to give the example of John Lennon. And Lloydine will carry on from here and show you how from John Lennon's date of birth on the solar calendar we find out his galactic signature, find out who really was John Lennon, who said power to the people, and all we're saying is give peace a chance.
Excellent, Jose. So first, I want to remind you that The first thing, obviously, after you've opened your DreamSpell kit, is the first thing you see in your kit is the galactic compass. And as Jose was giving you some of the history of the Genesis, you actually saw the two sides of the galactic compass folder. And inside the galactic compass folder is a set of instructions about how to begin using your DreamSpell kit. So pull out from your folder the cards and find for yourself the card that says at the top, DreamSpell Instruction Card. And the first step says the Galactic Compass slipcover. Well, that's what you've seen now. On one side of the Galactic Compass slipcover, you have the perpetual 13-moon calendar. On the other side, you have the 26-year countdown to Timeship Earth 2013. And then inside, there is something called the Quick Reference Card. Now, the Quick Reference Card is what you need when Jose said, learning a new language, you need to know your alphabet. The alphabet of galactic time is on your Quick Reference Card. First, you see the 20 solar seals. The 20 solar seals, you'll notice, are colored. And you can see that the sequence of red, white, blue, yellow runs through the 20 solar seals. And this creates what is called a time cell. So as we go now to the galactic compass, we're going to find out which one of these 20 solar seals you are. And on the back, you're also going to have to learn how to use a galactic notation system. On your left, you'll see something that is called the dot barcode notation system that the ancient Maya used, and it's now available to you, so you can learn to count in the simplest way possible. On the right side, as you look at this, you'll see in Arabic the printing 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, all the way up to 19. This is called the 0 to 19 code, and when you look at it over here, you're going to discover the first magic of playing DreamSpell. And that is that everything in the DreamSpell is a radial matrix. And what it means is that from the center, everything in this way of the DreamSpell is circular, it's a holon, it's a mandala. So when we count, in DreamSpell way of counting, dot bar notation, we have 1 dot means 1, 2 dots, 3 dots, 4 dots, and when you get to 5, it's a bar. So then when you get to 6, you add a bar and you add 1 finger. That's 6. So if you look right here, you have an Arabic 6 here. Over here, you have how it looks in the dot bar code. So that's the first thing you're going to have to look at is this quick reference card so you understand what a solar seal is and so that you know what a tone looks like in galactic dot bar notation. Up here is the symbol for either 0 or 20. So after you have this quick reference card out and you've gotten familiar with it, you will then discover that what your galactic signature is made up of is 1 of 20 solar seals and 1 of 13 tones. After you've looked at your quick reference card, it says Galactic Compass. And it tells you here, every day of the year has a galactic gateway. Take the galactic compass and galactic compass directions and learn to find the galactic gateway.
Now we're going to go through the actual step-by-step details of obtaining your galactic signature, your password into fourth dimensional time. And we're going to do this by doing a practice run on John Lennon. What was John Lennon's galactic signature? So first we go to the galactic ephemeris, and we look for the July, since October 9th is after July 26th, we're going to go look for the July 26th of 1940. That will be John Lennon's solar galactic year. A solar galactic year always runs from July 26th Gregorian through the next July 25th. And so we find 1940, and we find it's in this 13 storm sequence. 1940, 13 storm. That tells us that July 26th, 1940 on the DreamSpell calendar was the date 13 storm.
On the green ring, when you've turned your compass over, here's the date, July 26th. And now we're going to use the yellow ring to begin to mark the date from the white side of the ephemeris. So we know it was 13 storm. So we're going to take the yellow ring and put a 13 underneath July 26th.
2 bars, that's 10, and 3 dots, 13.
So July 26th, 13 storm. But we're not looking for July 26th, are we? We're looking for the date October 9th. So it's important that you know for that year, every position on the yellow ring is a storm position. For that year, 13 storm. So what we have to do now is the second rule of the compass. And it's called the rule of thumb, because we're going to look over here for our correlate date. What is the closest date in bold to the date we're looking for? It's right over here. It's the date October 14th. So in order to enter into fourth dimensional time, we have to find our galactic gateway to enter. So you see there's a blank on the yellow ring. So what you have to know is that before you can continue to find your correlate date here, you have to do the rule of thumb. You place your thumb immediately above the blank spot, and you bring the compass wheel, the yellow wheel around, and place the 1 there. I'm going to show you one more time why we had to do that. Because we lined up the 13 here under July 26th. We see that we no longer have any tones in on these positions, so we have to close the yellow circle by bringing the 1 over to where our thumb is. Now secure those 2 rings, because you don't want those rings to move now. And now we're going to continue looking at our correlate date, which is the date October 14th. So now we're going to do what's called matching the tones. Now we have the date October 14th is 2 storm, and we're going to place the white ring tone so it matches. We now have 2 dots underneath the October 14th, and now remember every position in the yellow ring is a storm position, so we're going to now take the 20 solar seal ring and find the storm and place it beneath the 2 dots. We have now created the galactic gateway for October 14th. But again, the date we are looking for is October 9th. So now we have to understand that all of the count moving on this ring happens day by day. This is the day ring. Each position here is 1 day. And because October 9th is before October 14th, we have to count back. So we're going to go October 14th, 13th, 12th, 11th, 10, 9, I've counted. Here we are on this position. Now, this is October 9th. We've landed here. I'm going to do it one more time so you can see. We go from this lunar storm to storm position, and we're counting now on the Gregorian on the day ring, October 14th, 13th, 12th, 11th, 10th, 9th, October 9th. Here we are, and that's a wizard. Now, suddenly above it, there's a blank space. What are you going to do with the blank space above? In order to know where you are, you have to understand that as you were counting back in days, you actually left 1 wave spell, because this white ring demonstrates the 13 tones of a wave spell from 1 through 13. So as we were counting Gregorian dates, we exited from this 1 wave spell and went into the previous wave spell. So now we have to discover what the tone is that goes above this wizard that we landed on. So the tone is 13, tone 12, tone 11, tone 10. So what we've done is gone to the previous wave spell. So now we have to take the wizard, and we have to now forget about the rest of what we just did, because we got to this wizard. We know this is October 9th. So now we're going to turn this wizard over to meet the 10 tone on the white ring in order to discover the galactic signature of John Lennon. So here it is, 10 wizard. But now, because we've moved wave spells, we're also going to have to do what's called lining up under the 1 dot to see what wave spell it's in. So we have to match the solar seals under the 1 dot to line up the wave spell. So now we have a complete wave spell here, and it's the serpent wave spell, and John Lennon is in position 10 of the serpent wave spell. It's the solar seal wizard, and it's guided by the wind. Because now the inner ring, which is the sequence of the solar seals according to the wave spells, is the guiding principle. And you can only find the guides on this inner ring by lining up the same solar seal always has to be underneath the one tone of the white ring.
Yes, these laws or principles of using the compass are very important. They are unvarying laws, and it's very much as if you receive a car and you try to drive it without understanding that you can't just go into reverse when you're going 60 miles an hour. You have to understand how this works, and so this has been a very good example in demonstrating the principle of the DREAMSPELL compass, that it's actually very simple. It's a type of mind training to know how to let go when you need to let go, because once you've found where you are, once you've made your galactic gateway, that when we came in on that lunar storm and then went and found the 10 wizard, that you're operating already in galactic time. Once you've made your gateway entry, everything is in sync and in motion as you are. The backside is formally called the galactic ephemeris. It's your ephemeris for locating dates so they can be translated into the fourth dimensional time or kin equivalents. You'll see that this is divided into a mandala pattern, and you'll also see that there's actually a sequence of 52 dates on the back of this. Each of these 52 dates are according to their galactic cycle or their galactic spin kin equivalents. Remember, the galactic cycle is a cycle of 260 days or 260 kin. The synchronization of the galactic cycle is the fourth dimensional calibrator with the 365-day cycle, which is the cycle of the biotelepathic cycle of Earth and its orbit around the Sun, and then the fourth dimensional calibrator moving like this. They have a synchronization point that is July 20, corresponds to July 26 on the Gregorian calendar. And this synchronization point means that from 1 July 26, it takes 52 years for the two cycles of 260 days and 365 days to go through all their permutations and meet again at the same point. So, for instance, if we see here the date 8 storm, which is the DREAMSPELL date, for the year 2000, we also see that in 1948, July 26 was also 8 storm. 1896, 52 years before that, July 26 was 8 storm. On down to 1792 was also the day 8 storm. So that's important to understand that each one of these, and again you can see the radial fractal principle of this 52 years. So you can see, when you look at your galactic ephemeris, it's actually like the tree rings of time. And the tree rings of time that create the cycle of what is called the age of transformation from 1753 to 2013. The ephemeris of the age of transformation is all on the backside of your compass.
Now we can demonstrate from here. We can bring this down and look at the center dial, which is the 4 colors, and discover the family positions. And also, I'd like to show everyone how 10 wizard is in the serpent wave spell, and why when we were counting from the storm position, we entered the previous wave spell. We can see why if we go now to the journey board, and we can see here under the 1 dot are 2 serpents. And this ring, which is called the castle ring, we see the color blue. So we can move over here to the journey board and see the blue castle. And now we look for the solar seal of the serpent. And now we can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Sure enough, there is the 10 wizard that we discovered on the galactic compass. So this means that John Lennon's galactic signature is in the serpent wave spell, and it's in the blue castle. The next step that we're going to do is to move up to the harmonic index so that we can discover where the readout is for your daily kin.
When you look at this harmonic index, you'll see there are 20 the names of the 20 solar seals the same as you have on your quick reference card in their 5 harmonic sequences. Dragon, wind, night, seed is the first harmonic. Serpent, world bridger, hand, star is the second harmonic. Moon, dog, monkey, human is your third harmonic. Skywalker, wizard, right there in your 4th harmonic, your time cell 4, it says output express. There is the wizard. Remember, we're looking for 10 wizard. This is arranged in 20 horizontal rows for the solar seals and 13 vertical rows for the tones of the wave spell to create the 260-unit galactic cycle, what was known as the sacred calendar. So we have here the wizard, and we're looking for tone, for the number which refers to tone 10, the number 10, and sure enough, there we have it, 10 wizard. Now the harmonic index is arranged according to the harmonics. That's why it's called a harmonic index. So for any galactic signature, galactic gateway that you look up, we have 10 wizard. We look up above to the, always look above, and you see the white row which contains the large bold number 29. This lets you know that John Lennon was born planetary wizard in harmonic 29 in the serpent wave spell of the blue castle of burning. Here you have the blue castle of burning, sure enough. That's the space that John Lennon was in. Here's one serpent you see right there. So that's a very important clue, 29, because it tells us that the next place that we want to go to get more information on what does it mean, planetary wizard, that we go to the Book of Kin. It begins on page 73 of the DREAMSPELL manual, and you'll see here the Book of Kin, the galactic epic of free will, with the galactic shield right beneath it. It's called the galactic epic of free will because in the Book of Kin are registered the descriptions of each of the 260 planetary kin, but the descriptions are given in a manner that we might call fourth dimensional mantra. They're like affirmations, they're like prayers, but they're really like mantra understood as mind protection. These are very profound formulas or spells. This is the dream spell, the Journey of Time Ship Earth 2013, and everyone who enters into the dream spell, anyone who is born on planet Earth is registered in the DREAMSPELL Book of Kin. All you have to do is find your galactic signature and find your Book of Kin, your galactic registration. This is one act of free will. That's why it's called the galactic epic of free will, to open this book, to find it, and to accept that this is your baseline formula of kin with other kin on this planet. So we're looking for harmonic 29. The Book of Kin is organized again, red, white, blue, yellow. Each page is one harmonic, the cosmic color code. And so each page at the top is coded by the harmonic number. So we're looking for harmonic 29.
We enter the serpent wave spell.
We see here the blue western castle of burning, the red serpent wave spell, and harmonic 29. It says crystal output, express intelligence of cooperation. This is the mantric formula for this whole sequence of 4 kin.
And now you can look here and see the solar seal and the tone, and it exactly matches what was on your galactic compass, and you found the harmonic number by looking on your harmonic index. So now you can read out for John Lennon. It says kin 114, white planetary wizard. I perfect in order to enchant. Producing receptivity, I seal the output of timelessness with the planetary tone of manifestation. I am guided by the power of spirit. I am a galactic activation portal. Enter me. So John Lennon was led by that base mantra of his galactic signature. So we each have a galactic signature, and the fun of playing DREAMSPELL is to find for yourself what is your galactic signature, because it's the gateway in. So let's continue to use the example of John Lennon, and let's see from the position on the harmonic index, let's find out where he is on the next board. This one was the journey board, where he was in the blue castle, under here, the blue castle, and now we should look over here to see where he is on the oracle board.
This harmonic index, as you'll see, on the side has the 20 solar seals in their 4 harmonic sequences. There's 5 of those. And above you have, again, red, white, blue, yellow, and green. Red, white, blue, yellow, and green. The coding for the castles, it goes on the vertically, and the coding for the time cells goes on the horizontal 20 count. So just as the journey board is the primal mandala of becoming, describes the whole process of galactic becoming, what is called the oracle board, which has the same sequence read, is time cell 1, input, inform, white, time cell 2, store, remember, time cell 3, process, formulate, time cell 4, output, express, time cell 5, matrix, self-regulate. This part is coded to this oracle board. The oracle board, which you see here, which is can be thought of as the type of the mandala of the womb or of being, while the journey board is the mandala of becoming, the whole process. We call it the womb mandala because what you have here is the compressed form of the 20 solar seals with all of their fifth force relationships. You see in fourth dimensional time, a kin instantly has a whole set of energy relationships that are described as the oracle of the fifth force. And you'll notice that in any one of these, if we're looking for John Lennon, for instance, we'll keep with that.
And we should make an important distinction here so you understand there are 2 ways in which the galactic dot bar code is used. One way that the galactic dot bar code is used is here in the wave spell. So we have here the basic form of the wave spell, which is the movement in time. So we have 1 dot, 2 dot, 3 dot, 4. When it comes to bar 5, add a dot 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So if you remember, John Lennon's tone was tone 10. So it says here, 10th tone, planetary chamber, manifestation of challenge. So that's one application of the dot bar galactic notation. The other application, you can look down here at your quick reference card, and here is the 0 to 19 code. This code is the code that is used to code the 20 solar seals. And in this way, the 20 solar seals are a family, a pattern. So that you have on the top row here, you have the no dot family, then you have the 1 dot family, you have the 2 dot family, you have the 3 dot family, and the 4 dot family. When you go on the vertical line, you see that you have a no bar family, you have a 1 bar family, 2 bar family, 3 bar family. This radial matrix is the root of all aspects of the dream spell. So now what we're going to see is that we'll look again at the quick reference card. You'll find out right here that John Lennon wizard position is code number 14. So from your chips, your solar seal chips, you can look at the back of your wizard chip and you'll see the code number is 14.
It says right there, you find the wizard on the chips, turn it around, on that, sure enough, it says 2 bars, 4 dots, that's 14, and it says wizard, enchants, timelessness. So those are the 2 key codes that we have.
So we can now cross over when Jose was demonstrating on the line of where the wizard is, that it was in the yellow harmonic. So we came down here to look at the yellow leaf of your oracle board, and here is code number 14, which is the code number for the wizard. So now using your solar seal chips, you can discover all of the relations of fourth dimensional time for John Lennon's galactic signature.
The key you have to reading the fifth force oracle is the dream spell oracle guide. As you look at that dream spell oracle guide, you'll see it's the same form for each one of the oracles. Each of the time cells has a set of 4 oracles: a red, a white, a blue, a yellow, a red, a white, a blue, a yellow, all the way through a red, a white, a blue, a yellow. And so it's the fifth force oracle because there are 5 powers actually that intersect in each day and in each kin, each one of us. So the central position, for instance, John Lennon, wizard, okay, start here. This is the destiny kin position. This is the power of the solar tribe, which is the basis of your life destiny. The basis of John Lennon's life destiny was white planetary wizard. Every destiny kin has an analog kin, which is a like-minded power, the galactic solar planetary partner. Every single analog kin on the oracle board adds to 19. 14 and a bar 5 is 19. 1 dot and 18, 3 bars, 3 dots, 19. The analog power is always the power of 19. Then on the left side of the kin is the antipode or the challenge power. That is always a difference of 10. 14 and 4, difference of 10. 1 and 11, difference of 10. So these are constant mathematical relationships. This is the fourth dimensional mathematics of time, a radial mathematics. The lower position is referred to, the antipode kin, incidentally, is the challenge power that strengthens memory reconstruction. Any challenge that we have is for that purpose. The occult kin, which is the hidden power of 7, represents the unexpected power. That's down here below. And it's the power of 7 because the number of the occult kin added to the destiny kin is always 21. That's 3 times 7.
And then from knowing this planetary wizard position, we can see how all of the relationships on all of the parts of your DreamSpell kit are coded, so that then we can move over here to the chromatic arrangement, and we can look here to find the wizard, and we'll see here that the wizard sits in a position where it's part of the white chromatic, and it's called the Truth Clan. And then in this direction, it's by Earth family, and we discover that John Lennon is part of the Gateway Earth family. Now, what this means is that John Lennon, when he entered in a position of 10 tone and solar seal wizard. But he did not stay in that position because every year you move through the solar seals of your Earth family. So when John Lennon was 1 year old, he moved to the next tone and the next position of his Earth family. 11 storm, 12 seed, 13 moon, 1 wizard, 2 storm, 3 seed, etc. It takes 52 years before, and John Lennon, of course, didn't make it to his 52nd birthday, but if those of us fortunate enough to live 52 years, come all the way back to this position on October 9th, 52 years after John Lennon's birth, was the date 10 wizard.
But since the galactic signature of your date of birth, that galactic signature occurs every 4 years, every fourth year. For instance, when John Lennon was 4, he was a wizard in a wizard year. When he was 8, in a wizard year. So when he was killed in his 40th year, he was also in a wizard year. That much we could know. One other part in the Oracle guide is the top is the guide kin. You'll notice that in all of these oracles that there's a number pattern for the destiny, the analog, the antipode, and the occult, but there is no number sequence here. That's because this is the power of the 5th force, that according to the tone and the position in the wave spell of the castles, that each seal has a guide. As you recall, when we looked over here at John Lennon's galactic gateway, his galactic signature, we had up here a wizard, and we have down here this solar seal, which is that of the wind solar tribe, which says that if we look at the back of our cards and you find the wind, right here it says wind communicates spirit. That's why in the readout of John Lennon's kin, that it says that he is guided by the power of spirit. That's what that means there. So with these chips you can practice reading the oracle. You can place the wizard chip here. You can look up and see what the 5 is and see that the 5 is the serpent chip, which you put there. You can see what the 4 is. That's the seed chip, which you put there. You can see what the 7 is. That's the blue hand chip, which you put here. And then the guiding chip up here would be the white wind. And
I thought we could perhaps just break these apart for you and show you how you'll use your solar seal chips. So that what Jose just described is having used from your compass that this is the guide position, you would place the wind up here above in the empty space.
And this is called the fifth force guide position because, as you look at it, each color family has 5 seals in it. So it could be one of any 5 of these seals that is in that position.
The example down here is to show in this arrangement of the solar seals, you have the red initiating family, then you have the white family, the blue family, and the yellow family. So each of the blank spaces above is going to be one of the white solar seals of that family. And from the compass, we saw that the guide was the wind. Now that we've broken the solar seal chips apart so you can use them individually now to place on the oracle board, you'll see that on the back of each of your solar seal chips is the code number. So here we have the 4 dots and the 2 bars of 14, which is the code number for wizard, and it says wizard enchants timelessness. This is called the destiny kin, and it sits in the center position. And all of the relations then come from this center position, as Jose described the numbers. So now we remember from the compass that up above is a blank spot, and we've looked at the compass and we've seen that the wind is the guide. So here we read the back to see what the guiding power is. Wind communicates spirit. So we place the wind in the empty position. And then we can move over and look at the antipode kin, and we bring the antipode kin in this part is simply matching the tone on the back of the chip and placing the solar seal above that position. So the antipode kin for wizard is the seed. And it's always in the same family. So we showed earlier the family of John Lennon goes across here. The antipode is the opposite color, yellow, in the same earth family. And the analog, or the planetary partner, is in this position to the right of the destiny kin, and it's a bar. So we find the solar seal chip that has a bar on the back, and we read on that, it says serpent survives life force. So that's the analog kin for the wizard destiny kin. And then we look for the solar seal chip that has 2 dots and a bar on the back, and we find it, and we find out that it's the hand. Hand knows accomplishment. So then we turn the solar seal chip over and we would place it there. So we'll show you now the whole layout. So now that we've looked at the inside of both boards, the journey board, and now this is the oracle board, we can see that if you use the back of the other board, you can find out all of the relations to this wizard position on the back side of the journey board. You can see here, journey board, and here we have all of the solar seals in their different relations. And all of the relations are based on the code numbers of the 0 to 19 code, which you can see on the back of your quick reference card. So in order not to be confused as you move through the dream spell, you have to remember that everything relates to the solar seal, the galactic signature you're looking at. So after you've discovered the wizard on the oracle board, you can see the wizard here in its relationships, the white chromatic truth clan, the earth family. Now the next thing you can look at is the human holon, and you can see that from the family position down here, you can see that everyone in their earth family is either a bar family, a 1-dot family, 2-dot family, 3-dot family, or 4-dot family. So we discovered that John Lennon was 14 and he had 4 dots. So you also then have a position, according to your fingers and your toes, you have a position, and John Lennon's wizard position was on the left truth hand, the little finger. And then you find out that for his family, it's coded by the little fingers of the hands and the little toes of your feet. So that's all for the play of DREAMSPELL, is to know where to go to look up. On this side, in the Galactic Solar 019 code, you'll find John Lennon here, because it's 2 bars and 4 dots, and it says Solar Maldek. And if you remember, we said the position we looked for with the serpent was the planetary partner. Sure enough, here's the bar, the red serpent, is Galactic Maldek. So on this side of the journey board, you can find out the planetary partners. Each pair on this board is a set of 2 solar seals which are empowering of that planet in the solar system. Or you go to this side and you discover the DREAMSPELL Genesis position. Again, everything here is coded. What is the code number of the solar seal you're looking at? And finally, in the harmonic arrangement, you have here each page of your DREAMSPELL Book of Kin is coded by one of these harmonics. Each harmonic is a ruler for a 4-day period. There's a red day, a white day, a blue day, a yellow day. When you progress to the next harmonic, you see the serpent, red, white, blue, yellow. And it repeats again 5 times. So you have 5 harmonics, and that completes a cycle of 20 days. And it takes the 20 days moving through the 13 tones, which then creates the 260-day, 260 kin galactic spin. So the inside of the journey board is over here, and
just as with the oracle board, the inside of the journey board is read with the outside of the oracle board. Right here it says oracle board, and there's the large signature of the galactic shield with the cosmic form color code red, white, blue, yellow with the green of the 5th force in the center, and the cosmic Hunab Ku. Then this, since the journey board, when you break the journey board down, you see that it consists of the 5 castles, the 5 color sequence again, and each of those 5 castles actually consists of a basic form constant of 4th dimensional time, the wave spell unit. You can see it is literally a form constant that goes through 4 color changes to create a castle of time. So the backside of this oracle board is used to read the inside of this journey board. It shows you the nature of this form constant. It shows you that it is called an adventure wave spell. It recapitulates the cosmology of cosmic time, beginning with an entry into a magnetic gate, okay, where you identify your purpose. And then there are 3 chambers, and then there is an overtone tower, which is the 5th tone, the 5th position of the wave spell. Then there are 3 more chambers. And then you have another tower, you have a magnetic gate, 3 chambers, the overtone tower, 3 chambers, another tower which is called the solar tower, which is always the 9th position. Here's where John Lennon was in the first of the last 3 chambers, the 10th tone, planetary chamber, manifestation of challenge. And then you have your last gate. You have your magnetic gate and your cosmic gate, where you enter and where you go out. Your magnetic, cosmic, magnetic gate always says take magic flight, because when you go from one wave spell to another, you take a magic flight to begin the next wave spell. You continue, and then you take another magic flight. When you complete a castle, for instance, here's the yellow wave spell of the red castle. When you get to this position here, cosmic human, you have to take a magic flight to the beginning of the next castle.
And let's show how, if there were not this 13th element, there would be no progression of the colors. Because if you only counted in a wave spell up to the 12th position, you would go back to the same place. That's why we say the 1260 is a closed system. In the 1320, everything moves, because when you get to the 13th position, the red then progresses you to the next color, white. When you get to the 13th position, the white color progresses you to the blue. You get to the 13th position, the blue color progresses you to the yellow. So the progression of the red, white, blue, yellow is recapitulated throughout.
You can see it recapitulated in the years, because when you look up the 4, there are 4 year bearers, which are the gateway family, of which wizard is the white gateway seal. You'll see that the same sequence goes. You have, for instance, a red moon year, a white wizard year, a blue storm year, and a yellow seed year, followed again by another red moon year, white wizard year, blue storm year, yellow seed year. So this is a integral, very integral type of cosmic coding that makes the total and utter perfection of the DREAMSPELL Journey of Time Ship Earth 2013.
Can we just clarify for a minute, just so everyone realizes that the gateway family is what codes the date July 26th, which is why Jose was showing on the ephemeris how every one of those July 26th dates will be either a moon, a wizard, a storm, or a seed. So in other words, John Lennon's Earth family was also the Earth family that guides the year. And you can see that on your galactic compass.
Red moon years, white wizard years, blue storm years, yellow seed years. Those code each of the solar galactic years, giving each of the solar galactic years its name. For instance, this year we are in the year white electric wizard. Next year will be blue self-existing storm. Those seals are also back here, so you can't get lost. Red moon, white wizard, blue storm, yellow seed.
In fact, those will be the first solar seals that you want to learn in order to use your compass.
So you will also see by using the back of your oracle board to read this journey board, and you have to realize that this, what you're dealing with is a totally new system of knowledge. The actual application of the DREAMSPELL Journey of Time Ship Earth 2013 can only truly begin to flower once humanity has changed its mental timing frequency from 1260 to 1320. That's why the 13-moon calendar is the basis of the understanding of the wave spell. That's why the 13-moon calendar has the same form as the wave spell. That's why the 13-moon calendar is called the planetary service wave spell. Because the ultimate use of the DREAMSPELL navigating toolkit for navigating fourth dimensional time, the ultimate use of this is actually to totally reframe our social organization and our consciousness according to the codes of fourth dimensional time, which is very radically different from the 1260 time is money operating codes. We see here that, for instance, the adventure wave spell down here shows us that there is also a pulsar code, which this shows you the actual geometry of time. Remember, we talked there are two gates and two towers. You'll see that these two gates and two towers are connected to make a tetrahedral form. The tetrahedra is encompasses the geometry of time, and within this tetrahedral form there are three other pulsars: a first dimension life pulsar, a second dimension sense pulsar, and a third dimension mind pulsar. This shows how the fourth dimension organizes these first three dimensions in what is called the holon of time, the whole structure of galactic time, which is radial, which is fractal. You must keep in mind that as we begin to listen and contemplate and understand these, that we're being asked to raise our intelligence. The DREAMSPELL and the release of the codes of time is to modern civilization what the discovery of the heliocentric universe was to the medieval civilization. So this is new knowledge. These are the pulsar codes, and when we move into the advanced state of 1320 frequency, we'll understand how to use these pulsar codes, how to incorporate them and have them manifest in our own personal lives and daily action. The strong clue for what we will be doing with the pulsar codes and the social reorganization and the new dispensation into new tribes, new families, new clans is the planet holon. Just as we have the human holon at the back of the journey board, the planet holon is at the back of the oracle board. The same coding, the 20 fingers and toes coding, and the 5 principal biopsychic centers that code the human holon with the 20 solar seals and the frequencies. That same code you find here. The chromatic arrangement of the yellow, the red, the white, and the blue chromatics for the fire, the blood, the truth, and the sky clans, the original clans, is coded on the planet holon. Here is the fire. The fire clan begins this way, running down to the seed here. The sky clan you see here going from eagle, warrior, earth, mirror to storm. The truth clan from dog to monkey to human to skywalker to wizard. Remember we saw that John Leonard was in the white chromatic truth clan. And then the families here, the gateway family, the signal family, the core family, the cardinal family, and the polar family. So the understanding of the pulsar codes is connected with the operation of Time Ship Earth 2013, with operating the planet hole on the fourth dimensional telepathic structure of Time-Shaped Earth 2013. Remember, these are the codes of fourth dimensional time. We haven't been able to know anything about them operating the false 1260 Gregorian time. So these codes are here. This power is being made available to everybody through the DREAMSPELL Journey of Time-Shaped Earth 2013. It's a gift from the Galactic Federation.
And to continue, so that we can see how we can apply this for our individual lives, when you actually find out what your galactic signature is, as you read through and study the DREAMSPELL more deeply, you'll find out that this blank destiny castle is actually a readout for your own 52-year cycle. So for instance, because I'm white solar wind this year, I have completed, I'm 52 years old, I've come back all the way to my beginning point. So I have actually made the journey all the way around in my Earth family through 13 tones, 4 times, the 4 colors, red, white, blue, yellow. So I've completed one destiny castle.
To read the destiny castle, you'll see that, remember, we're dealing with the fractal principle. Every castle, whether it's the red castle, the white, the blue, the yellow, or the green, has the same color-coded sequence: red, white, blue, yellow. Red, white, blue, yellow. And hence, each of these, if you take the seals away, the master color coding of any of the castles is in this destiny castle here. Every castle starts with the red wave spell, secondly has a white wave spell, thirdly a blue, and fourth a yellow wave spell. You can see that anywhere there. So Lloydine has 9 solar wind. You find the 9th position, which is a 9 white. You know that from this, the 9th position is always going to be the solar tower, so it's easy to spot. There's the solar tower. Or in John Lennon's case, he's the planetary 10. We know he was in a red serpent wave spell. Sure enough, there's a white blank destiny kin there in the 10th position of the red wave spell. So in this way, you can track each year of your life comes up every 5 days. This is the best autotherapy that exists. If you're tuned into this, you can see, well, what was I doing yesterday when I was 26 years old? What have I learned? What am I doing now? If you're over 52, you can apply this and say, well, if that's what I was when I was 26, I'll contemplate 26, but I'll also contemplate 78. Okay, we're trying to summarize here now with what we've gone through. We've presented to you what might at first appear to be a bewildering complexity of new data, but it's all absolutely very simple. The most important key in entering in the DREAMSPELL is learning how to use that compass and following the simple instructions and rules to find your galactic signature, and then from finding your galactic signature to find out what your Earth family is, what your clan is, and pretty soon you're on the map. It's important to remember this: no one plays DREAMSPELL alone. DREAMSPELL only works, it's a relational game, and only if you find your galactic signature, you're going to want to find your mates, your partners, your children's, your mother's, your father's galactic signature, and from there go on and begin to track actual events that are happening or actual key events that have happened to create our present history. And then you're playing the DREAMSPELL. You're beginning to find the synchronicities that actually guide and connect us. The synchronicities aren't just little surprises that pop up every so often, but actually the synchronicities are the guiding force, the order of the divine plan that keeps us all connected. And once we learn how to use that synchronicity, we can move into higher states of telepathy. So this is just a very, very beginning and preliminary type of introduction into the DREAMSPELL and how to use it. There's one other little item in the DREAMSPELL, and that's your magic cube.
And of course, we've already broken apart those solar seal chips that we showed you earlier. So what are you going to do with your chips? You're going to keep them in this color cube, which is a piece of magic.
Yes, excuse me. You'll notice that the inside of the cube has our color coding again: red, white, blue, yellow, and the center is green. And the inside of it, it shows the galactic atom of time, which shows the relationships, the antipode relationships: yellow, white, red, and blue. The occult relationships: yellow, red, white, blue, and the analog relationships: blue, yellow, and white and red.
Maybe you can say something about the color theory behind this, that actually why the colors are in these positions.
This is color science. As we know, there are three primary colors: red, yellow, and blue are the three primary colors. White is what creates the mix, and and all of them combined are white. And then it's because of the white that you actually have the possibility of permutations. And then the green in the center is the first secondary color, which comes from combining the primaries yellow and blue. And that shows that the higher interfusion of these different colors. It's a very simple primary color principle that we're dealing with. Everything about the dream spell is science and magic. And we'll fold the cube up then. That's very easy to do.
So it's already been cut and it's ready to fold up. And the inside is where the solid colors are, and the outside you'll see there are color relationships, where you have two triangles on the outside of each section. So while I'm holding the chips, I'm going to now put them into the cube. So that's where you can keep your chips as you travel.
And in the color cube itself, there it is, all the magic and the truth of the dream spell in a simple color cube. If you look at it, you'll see that there's one red corner where the three red triangles meet, and up from that is one blue corner where three blue triangles meet. On this side here are the yellow and the white, which are antipode colors, and right on the reverse, the red and the blue, which are antipode colors. So that's your antipode sides. Above is the yellow. What we have here is the yellow and the red, which are occult colors. Opposite side of that, white and blue, which are also occult colors. And then finally, up here you have the yellow and blue, which are the analog colors, and again on the reverse side of the cube, the white and the red, the analog colors. So it's a marvelous cube. All the relationships of the color families are in the cube. It forms, if you look at it the right way, you'll see that the cube actually exists of a number of nested tetrahedra. This is one tetrahedra, which you see here, meeting at a corner. And then you see that the cube plays on the optical geometry of time. This is the dream spell, the Journey of Time Ship Earth 2013. It all boils down to the magic and mystery of what's in one little cube.